Welcome to the Rare Historical Memories channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. March in 1941, Rita Hayworth's pinup captured Hollywood glamour and wartime longing, an image whose poise and lit waves turned her into cinema's enduring emblem of beauty and escape. At Camp Pendleton in 1956, Marines shoulder outsized mock rifles, faces meeting absurd props as Cold War training fused discipline, theater, and readiness for conflicts imagined and real. On December 7, 1941, flames engulf a U.S. Navy ship at Pearl Harbor as Japan's surprise strike cripples battleships and airfields, plunging the Pacific into war within hours. In 1882, Chaston W. Oldreive builds and photographs a tricycle, an inventive personal mobility experiment from the industrial age, where artisans tested balance, gearing, and the limits of practicality. In 1934, Hoover Dam rose from Black Canyon, a Depression-era colossus harnessing the Colorado River, engineering audacity, federal ambition, and jobs poured into concrete, shaping the modern American West. In the late 1950s, youths worldwide crammed into phone booths, a playful craze where humor and mild rebellion met snapshots, records, and post-war optimism inside glass boxes. 1936. Burmese women in traditional dress stand beside a London policeman, an indelible photograph of empire's contrasts, migration, fashion, and identity intersecting on Britain's crowded, globally entangled streets. In K-Mau's swamps, a wounded gorilla Don Sun Huol is rushed towards surgery, an unposed frame revealing triage realities amid air campaigns and improvised wartime medicine. In 1971 at Blair House, President Richard Nixon sits at the piano, revealing lifelong musicianship and a rare personal interlude amid the charged theater of Cold War politics. At McCloskey Hospital in 1944, 3 amputee veterans from the New Georgia Campaign trained their stumps, preparing for prosthetics with courage, discipline, and plans for independent lives. In the 1960s, Dawn Wells charmed television audiences as Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island, her warmth and approachable beauty turning a sitcom role into enduring American pop culture affection. In 1935, inside a dim Mexico City police station, detained Mexican gay men sit quietly, criminalized by prejudice, photographed as evidence of society's narrow boundaries rather than any crime. Abraham Lincoln's tired eyes and deepened lines silently record war, responsibility, and sacrifice. The president's transformation mirrored America's wounds, history engraving hardship and resolve across a once youthful face. In 1907, Maud Wagner, America's first female professional tattoo artist, defied convention, trading circus skills for needlework, pioneering a path for women within tattooing's rugged, itinerant craft. Iwo Jima, 1945. Wrecked marine vehicles scatter the volcanic shore, silent hulks testifying to amphibious assault's ferocity, logistical strain, and the terrible cost of capturing a strategic island. May 1945 off Kyushu, carrier USS Bunker Hill burns after 2 kamikazes strike seconds apart, a catastrophic testament to sacrifice, damage control, and the Pacific War's closing fury. April 24, 1945, a U.S. soldier inspects looted art hidden inside a church at Ellingen, evidence of systematic Nazi plunder surfacing as Germany collapses and archives spill open. Vietnam, 1965. A soldier's calm smile contrasts battlefield chaos. His helmet scrawled "War is Hell" compresses gallows humor, fatalism, and truth into 4 words beneath drifting smoke. In 1968, Sharon Tate radiates luminous grace and rising stardom, embodying Hollywood glamour while foreshadowing a legacy celebrated yet tragically abbreviated, forever entwined with an era's promise. Photographed in 1870, the last living quagga gazes from a faded frame, heartbreaking emblem of extinction, reminding us how quickly human expansion can erase a species from memory. In 1883, Wimbledon staged its first international match, signaling the tournament's shift from parochial lawn tennis club event to a global showcase of excellence, etiquette, and enduring sporting tradition. In 1930 Maine, a wooden horse-drawn school bus hauled children through drifts, heated by a small stove, ingenuity and resilience carrying education forward despite long, punishing New England winters. A determined woman strides home, baguette under arm and 6 wine bottles in hand, capturing everyday French conviviality where humble pleasures are carried, shared, and defended with effortless pride. In an unusual indulgence, Tsar Nicholas II lets Grand Duchess Anastasia smoke, a candid fragment humanizing Romanov life beyond ceremony, parent, daughter, and a brief rebellion against imperial decorum. Sunlit, 1970s Kurdistan. Iranian schoolgirls cluster around notebooks mid-lesson, faces mixing curiosity and composure, revealing quiet determination to learn despite regional headwinds shaping opportunity, mobility, and futures. A rare 1890s Shiraz photograph documents an artillery-based judicial punishment, starkly illustrating the reach, severity, and historical depth of Persian penal customs at the fin de siècle in practice. In 1930, Hunter brother John leans out midair to inspect the engine during a 23-day non-stop endurance flight, daring maintenance proving aviation's stamina, improvisation, and publicity-driven innovation in America. In 1969, Charles Manson is booked after the Tate LaBianca murders, a chilling image marking a grim hinge in American crime history, celebrity culture, and media obsession for decades. The Hindenburg rests on the field, its colossal frame exposing 1930s engineering ambition. Airship grandeur soon eclipsed by fiery catastrophe that ended an era and reshaped aviation safety standards. In the 1960s, Barbara Eden's sparkling poise propelled I Dream of Jeannie to fame, her timeless charm epitomizing television's golden glamour and Hollywood's soft power reach into living rooms. October 3, 1968, Sao Paulo. Violent clashes erupt between leftist USP students and right-wing Mackenzie groups, a ferocious flashpoint in Brazil's turbulent student wars under tightening military rule. September 2, 1945, Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu signs Japan's surrender aboard USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, formally ending World War II and inaugurating a fraught, American-led post-war order. 1906. An Italian cavalry officer schools his mount on a near-vertical cliff, a breathtaking study in discipline, balance, and nerve from warfare's horse soldier era before mechanization. November 5, 1945, Paris. Hermann Göring's mugshot is filed. Hitler's deputy and Luftwaffe chief captured in Bavaria, awaiting Nuremberg, symbol of a collapsing regime facing judicial reckoning. 1961. Hollywood. A Great Dane rides shotgun in a sleek sports car, an amused snapshot of mid-century California glamour, freeway freedom, and playful celebrity nonchalance. May 10, 1869, Promontory Summit. East meets west as the Transcontinental Railroad is joined, driving a golden spike that unites markets, migrations, and American time itself. 1972. Nam Ken Forest. Masked activists huddle to document resistance, hiding identities even from comrades, risking capture as covert war spreads through mangrove shadows and whispered networks. 1950s Europe. A glamorous actress poses by a canal, her poise reflecting post-war cinema's devotion to beauty, leisure, and cosmopolitan allure filmed in soft afternoon light. In 1899, a camera peers underwater. An eerie diver image emerges, likely the first below-surface photograph, pioneering vision that opened a hidden realm to science and imagination. In 1930s China, a chain bridge spans a vital gorge, documenting traditional engineering, local infrastructure, and the formidable transport challenges shaping mountainous communities and commerce. In 1880s South Africa, Jack the Baboon operated rail switches with precision for 9 years, 0 recorded errors, earning human trust and a permanent place in industrial folklore. Rasho Crane, 15-year-old drummer of the 7th Wisconsin, died imprisoned at Andersonville, interred at the National Cemetery. He endures as a stark emblem of youthful Civil War sacrifice. In 1958 Hamburg, 17-year-old Bianca Passarge balanced on point atop bottles, a fearless, feline-quick performance capturing post-war Europe's appetite for audacity, elegance, and unforgettable street stage artistry. Paris, 1876. Artisans assembled Liberty's colossal hand and torch, monumental fragments destined for New York Harbor, where the completed statue would become a transatlantic icon of freedom. Between 1901 and 1904, Oregon's Timber Trestle Railroad climbed through dense forests, emblem of westward ambition, resource extraction, and stubborn engineering resilience against rain, rot, gradients, and remoteness. Texas, 1935. A monstrous dust storm rears over homesteads, poised to swallow sunlight, crops, and savings. An apocalyptic curtain call of the Dust Bowl's erosion, drought, and human displacement. In 1923, French troops occupied Germany's Ruhr, enforcing reparations by seizing coal and railways, stark theater of post-war tension, inflation, and a fragile peace unraveling between adversaries. In 1864, a boy and mother stand with a black Union soldier beside the family's uniformed father, a portrait of resilience and love amid civil war and emancipation. Rome, 1955. Sophia Loren poses with playful elegance, embodying post-war Italy's cinematic glamour and the rising allure of European film as it captivates a newly global audience. In 1962, Tainan, Taiwan. An eye clinic hung gigantic eyeball signs, a slice of bold mid-century East Asian advertising mixing spectacle, legibility, and cheeky charm to catch pedestrians. April 9th, 1865. Union and Confederate soldiers wait outside Appomattox Courthouse, while Grant and Lee finalize surrender terms, closing the Civil War and beginning an uncertain reunion. World War I. German sailors load a torpedo aboard a U-boat, a crisp tableau of industrialized lethality, mechanical choreography, and the silent menace of undersea warfare. Jean Bugatti poses beside the opulent Bugatti Royale, an automotive masterpiece, only 7 built, each monumental car defining interwar extravagance, engineering audacity, and coach-built elegance at impossible scale. At wartime Gorky, teenager Alexei Yilov welded Su-76 hulls, routinely meeting triple quotas per shift, an archival glimpse of Soviet resilience, coercion, and youth-powering emergency production. Berlin, 1926. Pet owners surrender dogs for euthanasia, unable to afford rising taxes, an austere photograph revealing post-war hardship, fiscal policy's social consequences, and the price of economic strain. In April 1945, a damp bunker floor holds Hitler's peaked cap, an artifact from the Führer bunker symbolizing collapse, delusion spent, and the regime's grim, airless end. In 1916, nearly 45,000 Russian troops arrive at Marseille with 5 special brigades, reinforcing France on the Western Front and tightening the alliance's embattled lifeline. In 1939, Albert Einstein finds solace beside his sister Maya, a quiet domestic moment on the eve of upheaval, as war and science reshape the century's course. In 1902 Green Park, Jack London counted 20 ragged sleepers on the grass, an archival glimpse of Edwardian inequality hiding in plain sight beneath London's manicured respectability. 19th-century surgeon Robert Liston gained fame for unmatched speed, completing amputations in under 30 seconds, efficiency that saved lives yet sometimes caused tragic errors before modern anesthesia and antisepsis. February 1945, Iwo Jima. A Marine flamethrower from K Company charges toward a Japanese pillbox near Airfield No. 2, assaulting positions amid ash, machine gun fire, relentless combat. On a sunny 1980s Miami Beach afternoon, a lone protester warned sunbathers of damnation, an iconic clash between freedom, leisure, and fervent belief staged on bright sand. Sarajevo, 1941. A Muslim woman veils her Jewish neighbor's yellow star, a quiet, life-risking gesture of solidarity and courage amid persecution tearing wartime Yugoslavia's communities apart. Trapped in Antarctic ice in 1915, Shackleton's endurance stands ghost-like, a frozen monument to leadership, seamanship, and human resilience tested at the world's edge under endless night. This stark American West image shows a public execution, underscoring dangers of frontier lawlessness, where rough justice often replaced courts and bystanders, rumor and fear could consign innocents. Amid Berlin's ruins, Yevgeny Kaldy photographs a Red Army soldier raising the Soviet flag above the Reichstag, a symbol of victory and the collapse of Nazi Germany. Her hollow eyes and frail body convey unimaginable suffering. At 18, a Dachau survivor stares into the lens, liberation arriving in time for her, too late for millions. In 1945, actress Linda Christian poses for photographs, soon to become cinema's first Bond girl, an archival glimmer preceding a career entwined with post-war glamour, publicity, and myth. In the 1890s wilderness, corseted women gather around a makeshift table laughing over cards. Elegance and quiet rebellion stitched into lace, defying expectations amid pine scent and open skies. On Alaska's frontier, sex workers from many nations pursued opportunity like miners. Some reinvested earnings in hotels, saloons, and restaurants, unexpectedly jump-starting local commerce during early boomtown years. In 1965 Texas, Johnny Cash was arrested on smuggling suspicion after agents found amphetamines and sedatives in his guitar case, an interlude in the country star's turbulent career. German World War II POWs harvest grapes at Widmer Winery in New York, an ironic wartime scene where former enemies quietly bolster American agriculture, labor, and home front production. Eyes hollow, shoulders sunken, Hitler steps briefly from his bunker in 1945. A final glimpse before suicide, an empire collapsing behind sealed doors, captured in one last fading frame. On April 10, 1966, Pope Paul VI prepared to deliver his Easter message to nearly 1 million in St. Peter's Square, an unforgettable demonstration of unity, devotion, and spectacle. During the 1943 Battle of Kursk, Red Army soldiers shelter in a trench beneath an advancing T-34, a gritty emblem of Soviet resilience, improvisation, and armored breakthrough. In 1935, men stand inside a 45-ton steel pipe suspended over Hoover Dam, a vertiginous image capturing audacity, scale, and America's monumental Depression-era engineering triumph. USA, 1965. A street vending machine dispenses illicit films, emblem of underground commerce, shifting morals, and the hidden corners of American life during a decade of upheaval. Zog I, born Ahmed Muhtar Zogoli, reigned as Albania's last king until 1939, Dayar, a turbulent era of modernization, palace intrigue, and maneuvering amid Europe's shifting interwar power alignments. Through a U.S. submarine periscope in June 1942, a Japanese destroyer lies torpedoed, cold proof of undersea warfare's stealthy reach and lethal influence on the Pacific Campaign. Russia, 1908. Officers of the Leibgard Atamansky Regiment skim a frozen river aboard an ice yacht, imperial leisure colliding with uniforms and sabers, tradition meeting winter sport before upheaval. 1940 German soldiers pose a dog in a helmet holding a rifle, a fleeting, playful tableau of gallows humor against war's grim machinery, camaraderie briefly eclipsing dread. Nuremberg's 1936 rally platform now faces only trees and wind, stone built for mass control reduced to silence, reminding us spectacle fades while responsibility for its lessons endures. Vietnam, 1970. A black U.S. soldier reads a Viet Cong leaflet equating overseas war with racism at home. an arresting moment exposing fractures in conscience, duty, and identity. Palisades Amusement Park, 1951. Judges inspect beautiful legs with faces hidden, a strange, wildly popular spectacle revealing mid-century America's quirky entertainments and fixation on curated, compartmentalized beauty. December 7, 1941. USS Arizona's forward superstructure burns at Pearl Harbor, a flaming silhouette of loss and resolve as Japan's surprise attack shatters decks, lives, and morning calm. Circa 1915. Scottish and British soldiers hoist a comrade skyward in camp, rare laughter and camaraderie briefly puncturing trench gloom before the line summons them back to war. Manhattan, 1976. A Volkswagen sports a Rolls-Royce grille, streetwise satire on status and excess, perfectly reflecting the city's hustling wit, hustlers' dreams, and glorious contradictions. Berlin, 1945. Rubble and fire swallow boulevards as the Reich collapses, thunderous finale where empires crack, civilians scatter, and history pivots through smoke toward a brutal, uncertain peace. On September 8, 1945, captured Prime Minister Hideki Tojo shot himself, survived surgery, stood trial for war crimes in Tokyo, then was hanged, Japan's militarism ending in courtroom judgment. Margaret Hamilton, lead software engineer of Apollo, stands beside towering stacks of her handwritten code, human logic that guided astronauts to the moon and safely home, redefining engineering leadership. June 1944. A Coast Guard photographer frames a makeshift battlefield memorial on Normandy's blasted shore, a wooden cross honoring an unknown American who fell in the opening hours. August 4, 1944. An RAF Lancaster of No. 514 Squadron strikes the Beck Dams oil depot, storage tanks erupting, smoke towering skyward as fuel infrastructure feeds the war. In 1954, Salvador Dali jokingly painted using his mustache, an eccentric stunt collapsing art and performance, creativity as spectacle, convention teased, technique secondary to audacious, unforgettable self-invention. The 1950s Huffy radio bicycle married youthful freedom and technology, its built-in radio turning after-school rides into modern adventures during America's optimistic post-war years of highways and jingles. 1927 Tour de France. Two riders share cigarettes mid-race, a time capsule when endurance, bravado, and nicotine still wheeled together along gravel roads and casually brutal stages. In 1935, Ferdinand Porsche presented Adolf Hitler the Volkswagen prototype, an affordable people's car, whose revolutionary design became entwined with propaganda, mass motorization, and the regime's ominous ambitions. A rare photograph catches the Eiffel Tower rising from Paris, lattice by lattice. Before icon status, its audacious structure announced engineering that would redraw the city's skyline. Circa 1915, German soldiers hunker in trenches, enduring mud, shelling, and boredom, the harsh monotony of positional warfare that came to define the Western Front's unforgiving stalemate.